Look at those beets. It's Brandon from The Better Cook. Today, we're gonna make beets, roasted coriander carrots, with a pistachio vinaigrette over burrata. It's a really tasty dish. So fresh, so clean. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the tops off of our beets, just the tops, not the bottoms this time. We're gonna add them to our salted boiling water. The reason we salt the water is because we want the salt to penetrate all the way into the beet. You ever have those vegetables where you take a bite out of and you're like, it's kind of bland? It's because they didn't salt the water. Then we're gonna check to make sure the beets are cooked. This is a cake tester. So what it is, you stick it in, and if it slides all the way through, if you don't have a cake tester, you can always use a paring knife. If it slides through with ease, the beets are ready. We're gonna peel these babies. We don't need a peeler. We're just gonna use a little paper towel, give it a good rub, and oh, look at that, it's gorgeous. That is the easiest thing you've ever done. You just kind of work it around and it just falls off. It's kind of pretty impressive. And we're gonna do the same thing with the golden beets. Oh man, that is a beautiful color. I love beets, they're so colorful, delicious, flavorful, earthy. So what we're gonna do is we're going to slice all of our beets at kind of quartered almost. The reason I'm quartering my beets, I think they look really nice on the plate that way. I'm gonna season with salt and a little sherry vinegar. That's all we need, that's it. Just those two ingredients and it is amazing. We don't wanna mess up our board, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the red beets and we're gonna break them down on another cutting board because I don't wanna stain my wooden cutting board. Any type of, dead spots on the beets, we can always remove. We're gonna season the beets with salt, sherry vinegar, and we'll set to cool. It's time to break down those carrots. I mean, we've done this a bunch of times. We're gonna slice out a bias in the middle of the carrot, and then we'll half them. The reason we do this, I want everything to roast evenly. I don't want a mushy carrot and then also a carrot that's not cooked. So I'm trying to decide which carrots are the same size, which aren't. So when we roast it, everything roasts evenly. That's the whole reason for this. All right, so we're gonna take some coriander, we're gonna heat it up nice and toasty, and then we're gonna grind it in our mortar and pestle. If you don't have one of these, you can use a food processor or a blender. I love this, it brings out the smell in your house. We're gonna olive oil, we're gonna salt, and of course we're gonna add this coriander. A hot sheet tray, we're gonna add our carrots to this. We're gonna flip, kind of get everything facing downward so it gets caramelization. 15-minute timer. Shouldn't be burnt, should just have a nice golden color on it. See how we're getting a little bit of color? Yeah, that's what we're looking for. It's a nice flavor. Yeah, delicious. All right, we're gonna make our pistachio vinaigrette. So pistachios, blend. I want a lot of the powder, but I also want a little bit of crunch. The powder is going to be the binder to this vinaigrette, and it's gonna really bring it together to make it thick. You can buy store-bought pistachios that are already toasted, but if they're not, you can roast them yourself. So we're gonna take our lemons, split them in half, and we're gonna squeeze them with this fancy gadget. It's gonna be about 1/4 cup of lemon juice here. The reason I use fresh lemons is they add a more of acidity pop, a lot more fresh flavors. Have you ever tasted like lemon juice out of like a gallon jug or out of one of those little lemon things? They don't taste like lemon. They're artificial, they're gross. Fresh lemon is the key to cooking. We're gonna take our honey, it's gonna be about, I'm gonna say 1/4 cup here. And what it does is add sweetness to it, but not too much. I don't really like cooking with sugar. Now we're gonna add our pistachios. We're gonna give a little bit of salt, a little bit of olive oil. Olive oil is pretty much the thickness when you're making a vinaigrette. Well, it's about 1/4 cup here. Should be thick. See how it's like chunky, but also like loose. It's gonna be very sharp, acidic. It's amazing. It's a vinaigrette. If it's a little thin, you can add a little bit more pistachio crumb to this to thicken it. Time to plate. All right, we're gonna take our burrata. I wanted it to kind of work around the plate, kind of like a U. So I'm kind of spacing everything across. You want to make sure that you dab your beets because they're soaking in sherry vinegar. They're gonna bleed everywhere otherwise. And then I'm gonna add my carrots strategically around the plate, kind of making it look a little avant-garde. Then I'm gonna add my pistachio vinaigrette. I'm gonna pretty much place them on top of all 3 burratas, and then maybe a little on some of the beets. We're gonna do a lemon squeeze. It's time to garnish. I thought dill was really gonna pop with the beets and a little bit of creaminess of the cheese, so we put a little bit of dill on this. And I found some flowers at the grocery store. I thought it would really be beautiful. Honestly, I'm just kind of plating these wherever. It looks good, doesn't it? That's crazy. And then I'm gonna season it with salt and olive oil. And that's it. All you gotta do. And you just made something amazing. Look at that. It's gorgeous. All right, it's time to taste this. Burrata is like one of my favorite things. It's so creamy and delicious. And when it's paired with some amazing food like this, it's so good. Oh my God. I should have done the happy dance right now. That's how good this is. It's so fresh, so clean. It's my passion. My passion is to create amazing food. Nope, I need another bite. Now I gotta come back. I gotta finish this. Hold on. It's that good.